We'll demonstrate how you can manually manage the license for a protected application. We're going to start by looking at the developer's computer, which has the quick license and add license tools used to build a protected application, and the customer's computer that has the protected application downloaded and ready to launch. On first launch, the customer will be presented with an activation screen where they have to enter an activation code. That activation code is provided by the developer from Quick License. They'll go to the record used to construct that license, and on the activation screen they will enter the request number shown on the customer's computer. They'll click the activation button. Now they're done with Quick License, and the customer can enter the code to activate the application. Once the application is running, thereafter, when the user launches the application, it immediately launches. If the customer decides they want to move your application to a new computer, you can require them to first block the license on the old computer. To do so, have the customer hold down the Shift and the Command keys while launching the application, and a license options dialog will be presented with a block license option where they can click yes, and on their screen they'll have a block code displayed. From your development computer, you can then launch Quick License and go to the activation panel, enter the request number from the customer's computer and click block codes, and you'll be able to confirm that that is in fact a valid block code, ensuring that the license has in fact been blocked on the customer's computer. When the customer launches the application, they'll be given the message, "This license is blocked." There is a reciprocal process where the customer can unblock a block license by you giving them a code. To do that, again, the customer will hold down the Shift and Command keys while launching the application, and the license options dialog is presented. The customer can then give you the request number and block code from that dialog. And on your development computer, you'll go to the record used to build that license, and on the activation panel, enter the request number from the customer's computer, click block codes, look at the block code given by the customer, and give them the unblock code. Once you've done that, you're done with Quick License, and when the customer clicks OK, the license is unblocked. Now the customer can launch the application successfully again on that computer. There is a manual reset process where you can reset the customer's license back to its original unactivated state. Instruct the user to hold down the Shift and Control keys while launching the application, and a reset dialog is presented. Now from the development computer, open up Quick License, go to the record used to build that protected license, and on the reset panel, enter the request number from the customer's computer, click Generate Codes, and give the user a one-time usage reset code. The customer will enter the code into their reset dialog and click Reset Now, and the application will be reset. Let's close out of Quick License, and now when the customer launches on the application on their computer, they'll again be presented with the original activation dialog. We've created a time-limited trial license that on launch will auto-activate and start a 10-day countdown. So when the user launches, they'll see how many days remaining, and then they'll be able to continue to run the application. And they'll be able to use that application for that number of days before it expires and can no longer be used on the computer. Trial license has expired. The user can't simply delete the active ticket file or replace the application on the computer to restart the trial process on their own. There is a mechanism, however, by giving the user a one-time manual reset code as illustrated previously, where you can reset the license and then allow the user to launch, reactivate the trial for the full 10 days again. There's also a mechanism where you can give the user an expiration code to extend the trial process. For example, have the user hold down the Shift and Command keys while launching the application, and a license options dialog is presented where the user can select the change expiration date panel and enter an expiration code that you can provide to them from QuickLicense. So from the development computer, you'll go to the trial license and on the activation panel, you'll enter the user's request number. Then you'll click the change expiration date, click to choose a new date. You'll get a calendar. You can scroll to some future date, and when you select that date, you'll see an expiration code, which you can then give to the user, and that will extend their trial process to the new date that you had selected. So let's go ahead and close out of QuickLicense here. And now on the customer computer, when they launch, you can see the trial process has been extended up to 35 days. You can use a manual activation process for a monthly, quarterly, or annual software subscription. We've applied a subscription license to our application, so on first launch, the user will enter an activation code that you provide from QuickLicense. So let's launch QuickLicense, go to the license that we've set up for a software subscription, enter the request number into the field to get the activation code, and that's the code that the user must enter to activate their license. When the user launches for the first time of each subscription period, they'll be required to enter a code. So for example, when they launch, they'll get the enter subscription code dialog, and then you'll give them that code again from QuickLicense. So for the month of March 2019, you'll give them the code shown here, and that will allow them to run the application for the rest of the month. The first time they launch in April, they'll be presented with the enter subscription dialog again to enter a new code.